Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you made it through this weekend. Not totally unnerved, but I know somebody who was unnerved, and we got to send out prayers for Kathy Clark. Sadly, I think lightning struck the side of her house and got the power box, and I'm not sure how much damage it did. But can you imagine? She's only been a widow a few months. She's having to deal with the loss of the love of her life. And now for this. So this weekend, it was testy, it was hard. So many people were so stressed. So I hope today that the calmness of the sunshine and the wind not blowing, we're all going to have a good week. And today I'm wearing that green again because it is that day, it is that dreaded day, St. Patty's Day, which is not my favorite day in the world. But I did not fix cabbage, I did not fix corned beef. But I did fix something we're going to talk about. We're going to share the recipes with y'all, and we're going to tell you how I don't make shrimp and grits like anybody else in the world. I just kind of created this thing based on what family liked, and so for years I've been doing it this way. And I was in a shrimp and grits mood over the weekend, and so this morning I got up about 6:55 and I started making shrimp and grits again to share with y'all. And we're going to share it today, and I hope that you will try this recipe. It's not hot, it's not spicy, it's just cool. It's has something in it that's creamy, cream cheese, has something in it that's a little tiny bit spicy, the Rotel tomatoes, and then salt and pepper, butter, and it's so simple. And we're going to show you the whole recipe, and then we're going to show you the finished product. If you like shrimp on a cold morning like today, then you might like this. So, and we'll share that with you in a few minutes. We want to share a lot of photos today. A lot happened last week. Sadly, over 40 lives were lost in the tornadoes that hit over the weekend, and they hit state after state after state. First, Oklahoma was hit with fires, and then Missouri with tornadoes, and then Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, a few tornadoes. But Georgia pretty much dodged the bullet except for one area. So you talk about blessed, prayers are answered. And we are a praying nation. We are certainly a praying community. And today I want to ask you to please pray. Hans is home, y'all. Hans is home. He has a long road ahead of him, but he's home. So isn't that the coolest thing ever? Your prayers helped. Now see this? Y'all got to pray that I can perform a miracle. Because in the middle of the storm, I had all my paperwork in my car that I was going to take home and work on my tax return. Had a little incident, and all that paperwork flew out of my car, went down the ditch, into the water, into the rain in the middle of the storm. So it was recovered, all but a few pieces that went down the drains. But now I got to figure out, if you know how to dry out paper, somebody out there knows a trick to do this, and y'all can help me. How do you dry out paper that is stuck together? Because I have years of paperwork there stuck together, and it's all the bank accounts, it's the receipts for the marketing we do, and all the different gas prices, gas tickets, everything's in there. And it's a mess. But look at the blue skies behind the houses. We had 3 homes under construction, and that was my biggest concern. I was so afraid. I knew the houses that were finished might be okay, because all we were just getting wind and ball ground, wind and lightning, lots of lightning. And the wind and the lightning kind of told me, you better check on these houses, because if lightning struck that would be a quick burn. That would be a very quick burn. And we were so fortunate because the skies were full of lightning. I did hear the fire truck go out one time. And, when lightning strikes a house in the middle of a storm, the fire station, the police officers, the EMTs are already stressed to the max. And then you got to go work a house fire. It's really tough. But our community did very well, and I'm so thankful. We didn't even have debris or trees or anything. So thankful, very thankful. Prayers are answered, and I hope that your community survived this. And I hope that if you are able to help a neighbor who maybe has trees down or something, stop and say, hey brother, can I help you? Is there anything I can do to help you? That was the house I was probably the most worried about. Now this was why I wasn't here last Thursday. we had an event at our office, and we had so much fun, and we had so many people there. And I kind of laughed because we were a big blend eating a bunch of the kind of food that I cook, and that's what got me on the shrimp and grits mood. I had a big shrimp cocktail that day, and everybody loved steak and shrimp cocktail. And there's a few of the folks who were with us that day. We had everybody go up and tour the homes, and so we did a scavenger hunt and hid goodie bags through the houses, and that was really to give y'all a reason to go and open cabinets, open doors, learn about the construction of the Bircher homes at Malone's Pond. And then this was the other reason I had an awards banquet to go to. And so it was fun. It was packed with some of the brightest and the best in the real estate industry. We had a really good time, and I'm so thankful to be a part of a company that honors the hard work we do. And yeah, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's stressful. There's just a few of us. And it's crazy, y'all, because we are actually part of the largest company in Georgia, and the sales last year, even though it was a stagnant year, lots and lots of sales. I think it was $4.4 billion for our company, and that's a lot of houses. And if we could help you, pick up the phone and call, because you know, I've been doing that 38 years. It's so weird to me. I can keep up with my real estate license because it was the year Tori was born. So there you go. But we had a good time, and it was fun to celebrate. We work hard, and every once in a while it's nice to celebrate. That sweet lady taught school for years and years and years and years and years, and now she is one of the lead real estate agents in the state of Georgia. And she said, you know, I loved my kids, I miss my kids, but I didn't miss all the hoo-la-la having to deal with paperwork and da-da-da-da-da, but she said, boy, do I miss my kids. So beautiful lady, lots of fun, and we just had a really, really good time. And it was neat to open up Ball Ground to people who had never even been to Ball Ground, Georgia. So now we had people from everywhere visiting us, and I got tickled. The guy who liked my peach cobbler, he probably won the award for loving my peach cobbler, was a young man from Vietnam. And it was really, really cool. So, and that might be where you would take a little relaxing, yeah, just a little relaxing. And there's one of our lead brokers, and Jamie does a great job keeping us in line and helping us and giving us the advice and the support we need. So, and Kim, I don't know why I don't have a picture of Kim, but there's my little buddy who loved my peach cobbler. Boy, he loved my peach cobbler. He said, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So thank you to everybody who was a part of this day. Record sales this year, and we're thankful. This is what's going on in America. The border is very close to being secured, and I love that we have a team in place who actually goes to the border. We have a team in place who actually goes to where the problems are. That's something we didn't have in the last administration, but if you watch and you listen and you learn, there's a whole lot going on to make America great again, and boy, am I happy to be a part of making America great again. So thank you, thank you, thank you to our VP, and thank you to Pete. He is the best. He's just the best. I'm so excited. And Tulsi, love her to death. So we are blessed. We are blessed. We are blessed, and where else in the world could you live somewhere as great as we have it? We are blessed. And there's the young man, there's the hillbilly Ellijay. You think about his life. He came from a place much like the backwoods of Gilmer County, of Copper Basin. He grew up in a very, very rural area, rough, tough times. It might be like when the basin lost all the jobs at the mine. He grew up in an area like that, and you know, you just make the best of what you got, and you keep on going, and you keep on trying, and that's what he did. And he tried hard enough to get to Yale, and then he tried hard enough, and he became vice president. So see, you don't give up, and you don't give in. You just keep on trying, and then one day, you kind of sit back and take a breath and say, whoa, did I ever see me coming from that point in life? No. But no matter where you are in life, and this is one of my favorite photos ever. This is Joe and Brenda and Hans and Sonia when they first came to Jasper, Georgia, and took over the Woodbridge Inn. I will never forget those days. Those were some of the hardest working, happiest days of my life. I loved serving the people who came to town. I loved meeting people. And I loved learning from Joe Rufert that you can be mean and ornery and gruffy and have a heart of gold, and he did. So he was one of those guys. A lot of people were afraid of him. A lot of people who went to work there were scared of him. And I want to remind y'all, this house is still available, but not for much longer. So please, if you are interested in purchase, you don't purchase this house. You have to have the house moved. It is a gift, but you have to have it moved off the property. It is still available, and it will cost you anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000 to do this project. But if you have a piece of land and you're willing to restore this home, it's going to take a lot of work. I've been in it. I've been all through it. I've seen what it needs, and I'm telling you, the budget would be $100,000 to $300,000. But it is, you know, if you're retired, you got plenty of money. Now, these are some of the victims of the tornadoes this weekend. They lost everything. Their home was hit. When you look at what happened to me, I lost a big box of paperwork, and that's it. We were so blessed. Look at this. You know, I'm going through one box of messy paperwork, and I'm not even stressed about it because I'll recreate it, I'll find it, I'll get copies, whatever. You know, I'll deal with it. But these people are starting their lives over because many lost everything. And I think one of the most traumatic pictures I saw was, what if school had been in place that day, because a school bus was turned over on top of a school. This young man is showing what happened as they were rescuing his aunt out of a house that the house was just demolished, and they had to bring her out of a window to get her out of there. It's been a tough weekend. So if you had no damage, and look at this, I think they said there were 3 killed in Oklahoma. There were fires in Oklahoma, then the storms hit Missouri, the storms hit Alabama, the storms hit Mississippi, a little edge of Louisiana. I mean, many states were affected by this. So the idea that we in Georgia dodged the bullet, we had one certain tornado, and that was it. But this guy standing in front of the ruins of his house playing Amazing Grace on the bagpipes. That's how you deal with it. You put your faith in God, and you just do what you have to do, because he couldn't do anything to recover anything from his house. It's all gone. And it just is what it is. I remember the Palm Sunday, and I respect tornadoes so much because Palm Sunday was one of those things. You never forget that day. You never forget the smell in the air. You never forget anything. So please be respectful. When they say it's a tornado warning, get to your safe space. And this won't be the last. She lost her mom. They were in Alabama and lost her mom. And I said, you know, she was on the phone with her mom not long before the storm happened. The last conversation you have with somebody, maybe tell them you love them, you know. Make sure that you say, hey, I love you, and stay safe, because the last conversation she had with her mom. So it was a tough weekend, but we are blessed in Georgia, and thank you, Lord, for watching after us. Now, we're going to watch out for y'all, because I'm going to show you this right quick, but we're going to show you the makings of it. So, Trace, can we get that going? We've got, these are the ingredients. I don't do shrimp and grits like anybody else. This is my own idea, and I came up with it years and years ago. But it's grits. You just make your grits from the recipe you use on the box, and then I add all these things to it. Cream cheese, I add 3 different kinds of cheese, a sharp New York cheese, and then I add mozzarella, Rotel tomatoes, and then at the end I put 2 heaping tablespoons of cocktail sauce. And then I fill it full of shrimp, and I use the larger shrimp, and some people like the little tiny ones, the little popcorn type shrimp. I like the big ones. So, and today I'm going to show you the finished product in just a minute, but that's the size I started with, because I make one big enough that you can eat on it for a couple of days, or you can share it with your neighbors. And I just make a large serving of grits, and then I start adding my product after the grits are finished. Because if you do it as you're adding it, then it kind of stops the grits from cooking and working. And that's I use the large shrimp, but I cut those in thirds. So they were big shrimp to begin with, and then I cut them in thirds. And that's what it's about, you know. And shrimp's not bad for you and doesn't have many calories. Even if you're on Weight Watchers, you can do shrimp. Now, you can't do all this stuff that goes with it, but it's really easy, and it's cream cheese, and then I use the New York cheese. You can see that, and then you can see the mozzarella cheese in there, and then I put a big old dollop of cream cheese. And I just like the way the cream cheese makes the grits creamy, and then I put half a stick of butter and salt and pepper. And I don't put probably enough salt because I like to add the salt to my taste, and then I use black pepper. So, and it's just, you know, it's not that New Orleans style shrimp and grits. I say it's Sherry style shrimp and grits. So, and it's southern, simple, and scrumptious, and pretty easy. And you see the cream cheese is melting now, and it's fun. It's a good recipe, and when I saw the temperature was going to be 35, I thought, well, some warm shrimp and grits would be good in the morning. So that's what I started doing real early this morning. I threw these together, and I'd made them over the weekend, and I had done shrimp cocktail on the Thursday event, so I about shrimped up. I may be tired of shrimp by tonight, but it's good. It's good stuff. And then you add your shrimp, and you just add as much as you want, as little as you want, or as much as you want. And there you can see the cream cheese is still melting. So you use cream cheese, New York style sharp cheese, and then mozzarella cheese. And if you like pepper jack cheese, you know, you can add a little pepper jack cheese because then it kicks it up a little bit. So there you go, just something simple. And it is yummy. It is yummy. And I use a lot of black pepper, but then in a container that big, it kind of gets drowned. It gets drowned, and just keep cooking them until all your cheeses melt, and then serve it. And it really is yummy. And it's one of those things I call it real comfort food. Now I put 2 big old tablespoons of cocktail sauce in it. And it just adds a little bit of flavor to it, not too much, but just a little bit, and it's not spicy. I know some people do spicy shrimp and grits, but mine's comfort food. It's not wild food, it's comfort food. So, and there you go. There's what it looks like, and there's just the beginning and the ingredients, and it is super simple. It is super yummy, and yeah. And it's, I don't know that it's a budget-friendly food because the shrimp was about $16, but it's worth it, you know, and I made 2 huge servings of it. So it's, it's good stuff. Now this is so sweet. This is in honor of our broker who is from Copper Basin, from Ducktown, Tennessee. And I had to do a little something for her because we got to go back to our roots and say, thank you, Lord, for starting my foundation so safe and secure in a small town and teaching me to learn to live life. She's a cancer survivor and a very, very, very special lady. Now, I'm going to show you. This is the finished shrimp and grits. And when I did it, I put it together. You saw how I put it together, and then I put a whole layer of mozzarella cheese on the top, and then it has shrimp in it. And then I put big shrimp on top of it. So that makes it a pretty serving piece. And if you want to dollop a little, you know, greenery on it or whatever when you serve it, you can do that. And let's talk a little bit about my dish, because this is a 1940s Pyrex dish. And it came from a doctor's estate over in Kingston, Georgia. I have his whole collection, actually. Actually, it was his daughter's collection, but I have the whole thing. And I love this. And thank you, Peyton Silvers, for making that possible. His wife, Dawn, said, hey, you need to get over here. And I did. And I love that. I love that. So how cool is that? But again, shrimp and grits is a great comfort food. It's super simple, super easy. We're going to calm your nerves right now. We're going to take you on a ride on a boat. And you're going to go to the Georgia Mountain Fair. And you're going to get to hear, first of all, we're going to the mountain life. Because when we think about ETC, ETC is all about the mountain life. So the song that Dwight wrote for, I guess for us, because we play it all the time, is about the mountain life. And when we look at the history of ETC, over 22 years of doing television, And people call all the time and say, hey, my daddy was on the show, or my mama was on the show, or you interviewed my kids, and now my kids are grown and I have grandkids from them. So we love being able to come back and show you the different things of this area. The area is changing greatly, but it is still filled with amazing people with great work ethics and a wonderful power of prayer community. And often that's what gets you through the tough times. So if this weekend was tough for you, if something happened that you had a hard time dealing with, you can always turn to prayer. So we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to go and we're going to take you just a little nice, easy, calm, cool boat ride up at the Georgia Mountain Fair. I'll be back shortly.
Misty mountain, rainbow sky, a faraway look in your eye. Tell me, have you had enough? Traffic jams and city stuff. Don't you think it's time to go where black bears climb and waters flow? Hummingbirds out on the deck, propped up, and what the heck? You'll love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright, and we all wave hello here in these mountains. Good, we sleep well at night. It's all right, the mountain life. Trip to Ellijay and see the bright red Georgia clay, from Notley down to Carter's Lake. All the memories to make, so much here for all to see, a land that is so dear to me. Welcome home to all your dreams, hot rod Fords and crystal streams. Now you'll love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright. We all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night, and it's all right, the mountain life. It's all right, the mountain life. Y'all come by and see us anytime you can.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Welcome to our ETC Game of the Week. From McDaniel. That one is poked out in the out.
Oh, that one hits him in the head.
From Crisp. That one.
3-2. Good lick. See us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
And the greats who stepped on that stage for over 70 years. A couple of hundred feet from Anderson Music Hall is the campground and the shore of Lake Chatuge. Ellijay Phillips took us on an awesome tour. It's hot today, so let's cool off with a fresh mountain breeze and the crisp, clear water as we enjoy a daycation. Beautiful Lake Chatuge, and we would love to introduce you to our driver, and our driver is...
My name is Ellijay Phillips.
And Ellijay Phillips is not only a boat driver, he is a pilot. So are you going to take us up in a plane next time?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, I've never been in a little plane. I don't know about that, Ellijay. We'll have to think about that. Thank you for everything today. Now you work, and tell me a little bit about your job and your company.
So I work at a marina on this lake called Lake Chatuge Marina, and we're actually on one of our rental boats right now, and we mainly rent boats. We also sell them, and we store them and have wet slips on the dock you can put them in, and we also sell gas on the lake, so we are always busy doing something.
Did the boys are y'all enjoying this just a little bit? Are y'all thinking maybe this is the most spoiled we've ever been?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Tracy's chowing down on KFC, and we might say we had to fight to get that chicken because the place was crowded and understaffed, and Lord have mercy, we're so proud of it, and Colonel Sanders is so proud we got it. But you know, when we think about, we're only, an hour and 40 minutes from Atlanta?
Yeah, hour 40, 2 hours of traffic.
Yeah. Why don't people come here instead of going to Florida? For goodness gracious, this is peace, it's calm, it's absolutely refreshingly beautiful. Why would you go to Florida?
I don't know.
They ain't using their brain.
No, they ain't.
There's the answer. There's the answer. Yep. Y'all ain't using your brains. This lake, what'd you tell me, 7,000 acres?
That's right.
7,000 acres, and it it fronts Georgia and North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful atmosphere. This is on a Monday, y'all. You can come Monday through Thursday. You can rent one of these beautiful pontoons, bring your family, hang out, enjoy every single moment of the peace and quiet of this lake. You know the one thing I haven't heard here, and this is unusual, I don't hear any birds chirping. Do you normally hear birds chirping?
In the mornings.
In the mornings, okay. Now, you live on the lake.
I do.
Yeah, so tell us how great lake life is.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Trace, how's chicken life?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I love KFC.
He loves KFC. We could not do this. We could not show up on this beautiful pontoon without a picnic from KFC. You know, when we look at how people are spending their lives, and everybody's so stressed and so worried about the economy and so worried about the election, worried about all these things, when literally you can put all that aside and you can come to Lake Chatuge, rent a boat, rent a cabin, stay 4 days, and you go back to work refreshed. Mm-hmm. Absolutely refreshed. Now, if people want to get in touch with y'all, how far in advance do they need to rent a boat?
So that all depends. Weekends are usually a little busier, so you probably have to rent a couple days in advance. If we have availability, you can walk onto the dock and do the paperwork and get on the boat the same day. Mm-hmm. But you can rent. We have rentals 3 months in advance. So just, I mean, the earlier the better to a certain extent. But if you just decided you were going to come up here and rent a boat one day, that is definitely possible.
Yeah. And you are located right across the street from the Georgia Mountain Fair.
We are.
And that's why we're here, because we are celebrating the almost 75th anniversary of the Georgia Mountain Fair. And when we think about the many, many times I've been here, this is, I hate to admit this is the first time I've ever been on this water. I've always taken photos of the lake behind the campgrounds, and we've always said, oh, that looks cool, it looks like fun, but we never took the time to do it. We need to tell people, just take a day. This would be a daycation. If you live in Atlanta, you could leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, be up here by 9, get your boat, go out and spend the day, and have a daycation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And be back in your own bed that night. Yeah. So, you know, hey, it doesn't get any better than that. Now, tell us a little bit about your phone number and how people would reach y'all.
So our phone number is 706-896-2835. And you can do that. We also have a website, lakechatugemarina.com. And you can call us and rent. And you can rent a boat online as well on the internet. And it'll be sitting down there when you get here.
Oh, it's exciting. This really is, truly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work next week, guys. I may to take about 3 days of a vacation. Oh, okay. I may have to do a staycation. I may have to do a staycation. And come here now, what months of the year are you open? What time is best to call?
Best to call from May till about September, because that's our busiest time. You'll have, the water will be up normal where it is now, and there'll be people down on the dock the whole time. We rent boats as early as April through like October, but the weather's not quite as warm yet, but May through September is perfect up here.
Now, do people, one thing I haven't seen on this lake, do people ski on this lake?
They do.
Okay, because we haven't seen that today, but of course it's a quiet day because it's on a Monday. Yep. So, yeah. Now, as a kid, did you attend the Georgia Mountain Fair?
I did.
Do you remember some of the first people you saw there as far as concerts? Do you remember any of the concerts?
Not really any of the concerts. I don't go to many of those. We do come out on the lake a lot, and was parked down below the concert venue, and if the doors are open, you can hear it really well. I've been doing that a lot. Yeah. Well, this is, honestly, Towns County, and we talk about this all the time. Towns County welcomes people from different nationalities, from every state in the union, and I've interviewed people who have been coming here over 30-something years. Every single year they come and they say, hey, we have to go to the Georgia Mountain Fair. Mm-hmm. It's an important part of Georgia economy because people stop. If they're coming out of Florida, they start spending money all the way up through Georgia until they get to Towns County when they arrive at the Georgia Mountain Fair. So the Georgia Mountain Fair means a lot to a lot of people, and it helps the economy of the whole state of Georgia. Mm-hmm. It does. And I don't think people really realize that, because you think about gas stations, restaurants,
You know, it's just like us when we stopped at that KFC. What town were we in, guys? Blairsville? Blairsville. It was busy. It was busy, and it was the only KFC within any radius that we could stop at because, you know, we had to have the Colonel on the boat. You know, that's just part of Southern tradition. You know, you get your bucket of fried chicken and you go to the lake. And what better lake than Lake Chatuge?
Yeah. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Me neither. No. And you know what's so beautiful? The water today is absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks like you colored the water because you knew we were coming. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Now tell me about this pontoon because this is a beautiful one.
So this pontoon right here is a 2023 Sun Chaser Eclipse. It's a 24-foot boat that's rated for 13 people. This one in particular is powered by Yamaha 150 horse outboard. We also have 175 horse outboards that are available. And they're very nice. We keep them in brand new shape. When these get, at the end of this year, the 2023 models will be sold off.
Wow.
More 2025.
Wow, and it looks brand new. Yeah. It absolutely looks brand new. This is crazy. Now, and tell folks it's about, what, $4.95 a day?
That's around that. Gas, whatever you burn, you'll have to pay for that. So you could, realistically, $550 a day, that should cover everything, if not a little less.
Yeah, that is incredible. That is so awesome. And what a way to bring your family, and you talk about a place where you can park out in the middle of the lake, the kids can jump off and go swim. And tell me the depth of the lake in different areas.
In different areas, right now where we sit, it's 47 feet. Over there closer to the dam, it'll get over 100 foot. Also, there are places that get shallow, little sandbars you can go to that get down to 5, 10, 15 feet. Just, it's varying for whatever you prefer.
And one of the great things about your boats is they come fully equipped, so you know what the depth is. You know to watch and to guide the boat accordingly.
That's right. All of our boats are hooked up with a GPS. It shows you where you're at on the lake. It shows your depth, and it also highlights water that might be too shallow to drive in. That's all highlighted on the GPS, so you can watch that and not really worry about tearing anything up.
There you go. Now, you know something, we hadn't talked about fishing on this lake. Are there fish in this lake?
There are fish in this lake. There's a lot of bass fishermen out on this lake. Also, a lot of people fish off the dock for little bluegills and bass and catfish as well. There's a lot of that.
What's the biggest catfish you ever saw come out of here?
Probably a little over 3 foot.
Wow. So that's about a 30-footer. I mean, a 30-pounder.
30-footer, yeah.
30-footer, yay. That's almost as big as the boat. So what about when people come here to stay, do they then get addicted and they come and buy a second home?
They do.
You find most people visit and then they just can't wait to get back?
Yep, they do.
Yeah.
Especially with the boat rentals. Everybody's telling us now, well, we were here last year and we loved it. We're coming back.
Yeah, that's incredible. It is so beautiful. It is so pretty. And you know, when Hilda and I talk about the Georgia Mountain Fair, we always try to include everything that's around here. And never once did we think about coming out on a boat. And then the other day, I guess I told y'all, wouldn't it be cool if we could go out on a boat when we were videoing the dock? And it just made sense because this is another part of me that I'd never shared with our viewers because I'd never done it. And so now everybody, I'm going to tell y'all, save your lunch money. Don't go anywhere and waste a dime and spend it on a boat. And that's a daycation. It's a daycation. And this boat holds 13. Where's the kitchen?
Well, we don't have a kitchen. There are.
What are we going to do? That's why we stopped at KFC. There's the kitchen. There's the kitchen. Yeah.
There's a couple restaurants on the lake as well.
Where you can park the boat and go to?
You can park the boat and go. There's a couple restaurants and a couple bars that you can go to.
Yeah. Look at that. Now, they look like they're having fun.
Yeah, they do.
You know, it would be fun if the boys threw me overboard, but it would be really hard.
Oh, that's your cue now.
Yeah. Well, this is a wonderful way to spend a day, and I hope that we've encouraged y'all. You know, we tell everybody, you can smoke, you can drink, you can do whatever it takes to calm your nerves. Let me tell you, this is what it takes to calm my nerves. A day on Lake Chatuge. This will do it for you, and I hope that you will pick up the phone and call these guys and book yourself a boat and come up to the Georgia Mountain Fair. Now, we're going to go back to the fairgrounds in just a little bit, and we hope that you will spend some time getting to know the Georgia Mountain Fair and the beautiful area known as Hiwassee. Wow, what awesome scenery and honestly a place of peace. I will have to name this place Sanity. Head over to Lake Chatuge Marina and rent a pontoon and just relax. Well, I reckon I'm a glutton for punishment. I didn't eat anything this morning because I have a breakfast date with Ansley and Xana at Mike's restaurant. So I came in here starving to death, and I sit here in front of this shrimp and grits that I love, and then Trey sits there in front of me and eats KFC. Are you kidding me? I love KFC. I love their biscuits, I love their chicken, and Lord have mercy do I love their slaw. So I'm just a glutton for punishment today, but I think now I'm going to reward myself with a little bit of music. So how about, and thank you, I'm taking this muscadine jelly with me to Mike's, and we're going to try it on a biscuit because Tony gave me this, and I can't remember who he said made it, but I'll bet you it's going to be fit to eat, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I bet next time he sees that jar, it'll be right down about right there. So we're going to take you some of Mr. Ellijay's music and some other music, and Mr. Ellijay has been a little bit under the weather. He's not feeling too pert right now. He's poorly and better than he was, not quite like he ought to be, but doing good. And he will be back with us soon with the Clayton family. I'm excited for that because I can't wait to hear their new songs. They write them, they record them. Guess where they're from? Right here out of these mountains. And when we look at this picture. My mama did this, and she said, I did it to remind myself that I never want to go back to being as poor as we were as a kid. They had an outhouse. They had to take water from a spring. They had very little grocery money at all. They grew what they ate. But you know what? When we look at life today, that was a pretty good life. That was a pretty good life. And this picture reflects, it hung in my laundry room for a long, long time. And I brought it to share with y'all. And it's a part of life. But we're so blessed to be in these mountains. So sure, Mountain Life's my favorite song. I love it. Love Smoky Mountain Memories by Earl Thomas Conley. Love the songs that remind us how lucky we are to be right here where we are, sharing what we do, what we love, whether it be cooking or music. And here we go to a little bit of music.
I don't do like I used to anymore. I'm different now from what you knew before. I drive through my hometown in a 50 GMC, and I remember what went down with you and me. There's a pillow lying on my old iron bed, and every night that's where I lay my head. I dream of me and you and the things we used to do, and I wake up to emptiness instead. The good old days of old have come and gone. Guitars, guns, and gold keeps rolling on like a freight train in the night. Through the fog I see old light and images you won't find on your phone. I don't do much of anything I drive through your hometown in a 50 GMC, and I regret all that went down with you and me. I don't seem to care much anymore for things I thought I needed before. I like my old guitar and I love my song. I love you too, but I guess I'll move along. Adios.
There's a blessed holy city called heaven, I know, where the walls are made of jasper and the streets are pure as gold. On the streets of that fair city are mansions so fine, and one of those mansions is mine. One of those mansions is mine. Yes, one of those mansions is mine. It's a home filled with glory divine. Yes, one of those mansions is mine. I may have you for a neighbor, oh, won't be grand, just to stroll over heaven and to view that fair land, or just to sit beside the river and to sing of God's blood with my Jesus in heaven above. One of those mansions is mine. Yes, one of those mansions is mine. It's a home filled with
You are her last. You're in her future, and I'm in her past. Each morning you wake up in a house I paid for. I'm still number one, but I don't live there anymore. She once turned to me when she was sad and blue. Now you do the little things that I used to do. You help raise my son, but when it's all said and done, you and me, we both know I'm still number one. They say you're a good man in a family kind of way, and they say I should wish you both well. But she knows I'm even better in a very special way. We both know, but she never will tell. She once turned to me when she was feeling blue. Now you do the little things that I used to do. You help raise my son, but when it's all said and done, you and me, we both know I'm still number one. You and me, we both know I'm still number one.
I love that music. I love that music that came straight out of these mountains. And let me tell you, I'm hearing what you're saying. I know that a lot of folks are upset because WLJA has a new format. Things have changed, but I'm listening to it. I really am enjoying. They have a lot of good gospel music, not the old stuff we were used to. So you know that you can tune in ETC on Saturday night and see some of the old stuff, some of the good stuff, some of the tried and true stuff. But you can also go now. Kevin Roper had a great singing at Roper Funeral Home this weekend. Go to Michael Morris's page on Facebook and you will see that redback hymnal singing. It was packed to the max. People were standing and they ran out of seats. It was awesome. So we are going to try and keep that great gospel music you love alive. It will be in your community. It will be here on ETC. We're going to be sharing because we know y'all love that music. And, you know, I appreciate their new format. I listen to it, but I still miss that old stuff. So put this on your calendar, April the 5th. April the 5th, please show up at Kimsey Ridge it's Ducktown on the way to Turtletown. And it is going to be a fantastic singing, 6 o'clock that night. Please come and enjoy that good gospel music that we all know and love. And the groups that'll be there will include the Partons and the Kaler family and First Day, and we've been sharing their music with y'all. I met them last year there and absolutely love their music. And that's what these mountains produced. These mountains produced great gospel music. just like Alabama produced some of the best gospel music ever. And so we're going to be sharing some of the old stuff and some of the stuff by the guys you know. You know, look at Brett Cantrell. Y'all have been listening to his music since he was a kid. He learned from the best right here in these mountains, and that's what it's about. So we're going to leave you now with a little event that we did on Thursday. And very, very blessed to have the job I do, very, very blessed to be able to do what I do to help people find their forever home, to sell their home that they're leaving and downsizing. It's just, I'm very, very fortunate, and I know that those blessings come from God. Not me, it's Him. So here we go. I'm going to leave you with just a little bit of how I spent my day.
Could